Are you surprised Curry said this?
No, I mean, and I think it's being misconstrued as it's his pick, where it sounds like he's just saying, I think he's going to win. You could look at it as his pick, but I think he's saying that's who I think will win because of the winning. And it makes sense to me. I mean, Harden, there's a great case for him. I've been riding with him the entire season up until recently when it looks like Russell will get this triple-double. And if Russell falls off and averages 9.9 assists, he will not get my vote, and it'll most likely go to James Harden. Secondly, Steph has benefited himself from the winning matters argument.
Yep.
Yeah. Remember his first MVP, he averaged less than 24 points, less than 8 assists, shot 48% from the floor. Not eye-popping numbers, but they won 67 games, the most in the league, and he ended up getting the MVP award. And Houston has beaten them once. They split with Houston in 2 games this year. They've obviously swept Russell Westbrook and dominated Oklahoma City in 3 times. So it makes sense to me. I think there's you might have some arguments that I think I can counter. But I'll let you make your arguments before
I'll let Shannon pile on before.
I'm not going to pile on. No, I'm not surprised he made it. And I think people need to get out of this way of thinking. Millennials and old heads always go back. Michael Jordan would have never said Charles Barkley or Karl Malone should have been MVP. Magic would have never said Bird would have been MVP. But guys are comfortable now. Yeah. Guys don't feel that they're giving up their competitive advantage by saying someone has had such a great season, they're warranted by winning the MVP. I think it takes a lot because remember Steph's first MVP, the Players Association voted James Harden the MVP.
Exactly.
James Harden said, I deserve to be the MVP. So he could look at that, you throwing shade. You trying to salt me up over here. You take that Players Award, but this one is the only one that's going to matter. And for him to put that aside and says, you know what, I think what he's doing and the team success he's having, I think James Harden deserves it. But if you don't look now, Russell has creeped up into that 6th spot. Yeah. Now, there's an outside chance they can catch the Clippers. If they get the 5 seed, there's no way anybody other than Russell Westbrook, if he averages that triple-double, will win the MVP.
So you would go with him?
Yeah, if he gets the 5th seed, I would.
So it's one
more thing for the old.
And you're going to give him the MVP?
Because I thought it was.
They're what, 2 games?
You got him like 4th now, right?
But here's the thing, though, Skip. I said at best case scenario, I thought they'd be 7th or 8th. I mean, to get all the way up to the 5th seed, to get the 5th seed over the Clippers.
What if they win like 48 games, 49 games, and get 6? You still wouldn't?
Nope.
One thing for the old heads, remember Larry Bird said Michael Jordan was God, disguised as Michael Jordan. So they gave some props, too, back in the day.
That was early Jordan, right?
It was early, after he scored 63.
After he dropped that 63
and after they eliminated, they hadn't eliminated him yet, right? They had one more playoff game.
Yeah, I think
they had one more game.
I can't believe the disrespect that continues to be paid to an all-time great athletic achievement that Russell Westbrook continues to pull off, even by Steph Curry. I was surprised he would even go there yet. We still have, to me, a long way to go to the finish line of this regular season. A whole lot's going to happen.
Love lost between these two now.
I got it. And that may be what is operating below the surface on that one because KD obviously left Russell, and so he's heard all the stories about Russell from KD. Why did you leave? And I'm sure KD has spilled his guts to Steph about how hard it was to play with Russell and to live in a franchise that made Russell the man of the franchise. I get that.
But, Skip, you remember now when they asked Russell about Steph's defense.
Yeah.
After Russell had been hitting him up for 38 and 40, and they talk about Steph Curry doesn't great. And he, so,
but see, I thought that
in the playoffs.
Last year.
That's a good memory. That's
but the thing was, I agree. I think you could look at that and say, oh, Steph's being petty. That's why. But to your point, he could feel the same way about Harden.
You're right.
Because Harden definitely was like, look, I should have been MVP, and the players gave it to him. So that's why I think he's just giving an honest opinion.
Being honest,
you think it's not, it shows a lack of competitiveness or
no, just
anything?
Respect. And I've told Shannon, as a Hall of Famer, I think you should pay a little more respect to just the athletic achievement to average in this day and age a triple-double And again, you can compare team to team, but I watch Houston all the time. They're really good. They are loaded with shooters.
And they're playing pretty good.
They're
defense,
loaded with shooters. Now they're only 6-4 in their last 10 games, so they've had their struggles. Because some nights James Harden goes 1 for 8 or 0 for 10 from 3.
And they lost to Utah. Like, how they lose to Utah?
They did, but when I look down at all the snipers he's got to kick it to, Trevor Ariza, Ryan Anderson, now they add Lou Williams, Eric Gordon comes off the bench and just lights people up, such as my Spurs. Patrick Beverley can make threes like crazy. He makes he's a clutch three-point shooter. Sam Decker can make his share, and then inside they got Capella and Nene. It's just a better team than Oklahoma City. So Oklahoma City, they lose Cantor and they start losing games because he's their second best scoring option. Then they lose Oladipo for 4 games with a back issue, and they go on a losing jag because he's their third best scoring option. It's all they got. And what he keeps doing, he has beaten the 4 seed, is the Utah Jazz. Russell has pretty much solo beaten him 3 times. The last 3 times he's beaten the 4 seed. You got to give him that. And look, Oklahoma City, Russell pretty much solo. He beat the Celtics twice. He beat Memphis twice. He beat the Clippers twice. I mean, that.
And they've beaten all the top teams in the league.
Yeah.
Except Golden State.
Except
San
Golden
Antonio,
State.
Houston, and Cleveland.
Okay.
So.
All right. So I don't know what's not to like about that, especially to your point. If you do end up averaging a triple-double, which I believe he will, the energy required, the stamina, the psychological and physical energy to do it game after in an era of resting players right and left. Does he need to rest?
What did Big O shoot field goal percentage? Do you know what he shot when he averaged a triple-double?
Don't know that.
I don't know. I just know they had about 20 possessions.
42. 42 more. When you factor in he played
better.
10 more minutes a game than Russ.
42 more possessions.
He had 42 possessions more per game.
Well, I'd say that worked.
Honestly, I mean, 10 assists back then, not to discount it, but it's probably equivalent of 7. Like Russell's numbers, if you put him for that pace that Oscar played at and the minutes he played, he'd average 49 points, 17 rebounds, 16 assists. That's what he's doing. So I'm with you. Now, let me ask you, if he averages 9.9 assists, do you still give it to him?
It would lose a little luster. I would agree with you.
You wouldn't vote
magic.
For it.
I mean,
would you? You can't. It's like batting. I think this is the equivalent of batting 400.
It is.
And if you hit 399, it's not the same.
Oscar field goal percentage was 48%. Russell might be around 42, 41.
Yeah.
That's not back then and now. That's still terrible.
Well, Bill Russell was a career 44% shooter.
Yeah.
Back then it was
Look, but what blows me away are the rebounds. And again, people argue with me. Well, in this day and age, because you have so many bigs who shoot threes, so it sort of frees up the lane a little bit more. And if Russell just attacks the lane on every shot, you're going to get your share of loose ball kind of rebounds in the lane, long bounce rebounds. But still, to
more
do that,
guards why aren't more guards?
I don't know.
10 rebounds.
But here's the thing.
If it's easy.
If you think about it, there are a lot of times, like LeBron is not even on the free throw line when somebody is shooting. Russell is up there on the free throw line trying to block out bigs, trying to get rebounds, Skip.
But you got to give him some credit for that, too. Let's give him some credit for that.
The energy that it takes to battle 6'8", 7-footers, to grab rebounds. So what if he steals 2 or 3 from his own teammate?